Oh, we need to say the script and everything now if we're going to start. I forgot. Where is it?
How can you forget something like that?
Well, because I was just busy
It's in the
chatting.
chat.
I was just busy chatting. We've got 3 colours on it, so we're going to read 3 different bits now, right? We're going to take a bit each.
Sure. I'll take the blue part this time.
Okay. Shall I take the pink part then? And then Ollie, you can do the final bit, the green part. All right. Welcome to the Cucumber New Contributors Ensemble. I'm Matt Wynne here in Nelson, BC in Canada, and I'm joined by Kate Dames in Cape Town, South Africa.
Yes.
And Olle.
Hello, I'm Olle. I'm Olle. I'm in sunny Malmo in Sweden.
Malmo, that's right. Yes. So why we're here, folks? Kate, is that your bit?
Oh.
So slick.
We're doing it so fluid. I don't even know we're going yet. So into a 2017, GitHub surveyed over 10,000 open source contributors, and just 3% of them were women. We believe that open source communities will be more vibrant, resilient, and effective if they include everyone. So we hold a space each week for anyone who is new to contributing to open source, especially for people from groups who've historically been underrepresented in open source communities. Our goal is to provide a fun and welcoming environment where everyone can learn and contribute to open source.
Ollie.
Green part.
I'll do the green part.
I'll get the editor to
You
cut
need
this
to
bit
read.
out. Our professional
Are
editors.
you're not in the
We
you're
use-
not in the document.
I am.
Oh,
We use
are
an
you?
ensemble programming format, and we follow these principles. Safety over comfort. We aim for an environment where everyone can bring their whole self and express their needs fully, even if that isn't always comfortable. Equity over efficiency. We're here to give space to people who've traditionally been excluded from open source, even if that means going a little slower sometimes. Exploration over perfection. We are here to learn and always discovering better ways to do things. We embrace experimentation and accept that what we can do can never be perfect. If you'd like to join us, you'd be very welcome. You can reach us at @CucumberBDD on Twitter.
Woohoo!
Superb.
You've got a podcast voice.
Yeah, he has, isn't it? It's beautiful.
He's got a beautiful voice.
So, Kate, what did we get up to last week then? Because both Ollie and I, well, at least I missed the end of last week's session, and Ollie wasn't here at all.
So we didn't do a lot because we spent like half an hour just trying to set up the machine because Matt wasn't there. And then we merged in, but we first changed the diagram a little bit to make it less, that it looks like methods and more just plain logic on the README. And we merged that in, and then we merged the Promisify pull request
so that's merged in
as well.
Mm-hmm.
So those were in, and then we started figuring out what the hell should we be doing next, because neither of us was strong on Java and we didn't really know. So we just did a bunch of research, and then at the end we got to, let me just try and find it, in the octo-github.js, we added a to-do. That was what we did. So we need to build something with a pattern that gets, or that's what we think we should be doing for the getLastCommitBy user.
Okay.
And we found some stuff from Stack Overflow to get the last commit because we didn't know how to do that. So that's where we are at the moment.
Cool.
I don't know if that is where we should be. I think the get members of was finished. I don't know if you want to confirm that. And yeah, that's what we thought should be done next.
Well, we could get rid of this to-do, couldn't we? Because that to-do says change interface to make these function async, but we've done that now. We've merged that pull request in, so
Yes.
so we could get rid
Yeah,
of that.
we weren't sure if we can remove that.
So maybe I want the mob timer as well. Where's that? And then we're going to put some
Goals.
goals in there. So I guess a goal for this week would be to, well, for starters, we could remove that to do.
Yeah, but that's not really a goal, is it?
Okay. Yeah. The main goal, I guess, would be to get this function running in a test. So, shall I write that down? How do I?
Sounds
Implement getLastCommitBy
Yeah, I'm trying to work out how you do it.
test.
Implement getLastCommitBy. Add. All right, it's added as a goal, and we don't have anybody in the mob. I'm gonna add.
But we don't use the timer, do we? Do we need
No,
to
it can be helpful to help us rotate though, just to decide who's going to be
Hello,
next and stuff.
Blaise.
Quite noisy outside. I'm gonna mute.
Goodbye, Twitch streaming.
We're on the internet right now. You can come and appear if you want. Come on.
I'm famous now. Bye.
Hey, where are you going? You should be helping us. Not
He's going to the
away.
barbers.
I like this area.
Yeah, me too. But he needs the undercut shaved. That's what he's doing. I'm going to have to go a little bit early as well this week because I'm booked in after him. Right. Yeah. So Blaise, we were just discussing a goal of implementing this getLastCommitBy method. There is a VS Code live share link in the Zoom chat. I don't know if you've joined late, Blaise, whether you can
Probably.
see it. Do you need me to repaste it?
Can I also share something?
Thanks.
I'm so excited. I want to try this
Yeah.
out. This is a browser specifically for developers, and it returns code snippets, not just Google results, just code snippets.
Whoa. Let's use it as soon as we need it. So it's like a Stack Overflow browser.
Yes. So I want to see if it works.
Okay. So the first chance we can, we're going to use this thing. All right. I'm going to put it down here for now. You can't see my screen, can you? Do you want me to share my screen as well?
Would be useful, I guess.
Okay. Are you getting into the live share okay, Blaise? Blaise, you're so muted. I can't tell whether you're getting into the live share or not.
He said yes with
Oh,
his
did he?
hand.
There's a thumbs
Yeah,
up.
I'm in. Thank you. And where we got stuck last week was trying to figure out whether it was possible to search by a particular. In other words, it seems like GitHub is organized by repo, and so it seemed like we might need to do like a recursive search for every repo.
Okay.
But that, I mean, maybe not. Maybe there's a different way of doing it.
Okay. Well, let's get a
it
test
seems-
written around it, and then we can
Yeah.
fiddle around with it.
Okay.
But I just want to, by the way, I want to give a shout out to my new friend Lauren Lewis, who I met in the lunch queue at Agile. She's keen to come along. I thought she was going to come this week, but she's not. It looks like, but hopefully she'll come soon. So if you're watching, hi Lauren. Right, so shall we let the computer decide who's going to drive and navigate and stuff?
Sure.
We've got Olle navigating and Blaise driving.
Yes.
That's what the computer
Oh, great.
says.
Perfect.
I win.
You win by not having to do anything.
I'm watching.
Okay.
So first goal to get a test, I guess.
Very good. Let's go to the test case.
So
I'm in
gonna
the GitHub.
follow
Octokib GitHub
Blaise.
tests, yes.
Yes, I think so. Oh, GitHub test. Got it?
Yeah,
Okay.
a neighboring thing. We have one it in the describe.
It? Yeah. We have one it. What would you like me to do? Add another it?
I think we should add another it, yeah.
Okay.
So which row am I now?
I'm driving, and you tell me what to do, and then I type.
Very good, very good. Let's add an it, which generically does what this method would do. It gets the by the
Okay.
We have, you can see it on your right-hand side. Gets last commit by username, for example.
Should it not be inside the purple bracket?
Inside the purple bracket.
Yeah, you want it in the same level of indentation as line 6.
Right, so a neighbor to the existing it.
Why don't I just do this?
After the blue
Can I do this?
sphere.
You definitely can, Blaise, yeah.
Okay. It, and then, I'm sorry, was it get last commit?
Oh,
Yes.
I'm thinking here of a free text kind of
Oh,
description.
of course, a string. Okay, got it.
It gets the last commit by username or GitHub username even, so that we're describing what the parameter is as well.
Okay.
And then we will offer an async callback thingy there, like the other it.
Oh, I see. Okay, got it.
And that's the second positional parameter.
Nope. Inside the bracket.
So then here we want to do we want to do one of those const?
Wait, Blaise, we're not quite right yet. So if you look at the one below, you pass it takes two things. It takes a string, which is the description of the test or the example, and then the second thing it takes is an async function.
Async.
Doesn't have to be async, but it does in our case. So you need the comma outside of the quotes.
Yes.
Let's start with it async, and then we can see if we don't have to.
Okay.
So if you look closely on the other one.
I'll follow a similar pattern here.
Grand. Then I think that we can, on line 8, close the paren, and we have function body to fill out.
Okay.
So now it should accept this as syntax, but we're not. So somehow
If
not
I
there.
save it,
Very good.
Yeah.
These are other complaints. Good, fantastic.
Okay, good.
So now it just doesn't want us to be passing an empty arrow function, so we need to write the test inside it.
Okay.
I think that we will be able to imitate most of the first things that are happening. Like on line, you can see line 9 through 22 are basically.
Well, they've moved now. It's line 11 through to.
The body of the second it
Yeah.
is very similar to the body of the it we are making,
Yeah.
because we're setting up things that we will need in order to call getLastCommitBy.
So there's a little bit of brackety cleanup to do just here.
Yeah, right.
I think if you put a closing round bracket on there now, it's probably happy. Yeah.
Cool. So now we can go and just try to put in our.
That's for the error. Okay.
If I on line 18.
18.
Yeah, on line 18, we're calling on the GitHub adapter a thing called getLastCommitBy. So, and then I don't know, is Fishcakes a
User.
organization?
No, Fishcakes is the name of a
Yes,
team.
a repo. No,
It was the name of a team. It's a bit of a silly name, isn't it?
So the name in the API, the name of the user is called login, is the username. But I think I don't remember. what we call it in here.
Why don't we try Blaise P? Hard-coded Blaise P.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you could use Matt Win.
Okay.
Okay, great. So now we are calling something, we're calling it with the signature we have defined. And we expect it to return what? If it would work, what would it return?
Oh, it's not going to return members. It's going to
Assert that
return
last commit
A single commit, yes, a promise with a single commit. So perhaps commit is the what we are attempting to return.
Mm-hmm. And then
on the previous line we need to name it.
Right. So in other words, it should just include. Oh, do we need the date? I think we need the date also, right?
Yeah, maybe you just want to have
commit will be the date, wouldn't
maybe you just want to have a simple assertion that just said it's not null or something. Just
great.
just for now.
Sure.
Because just making the call would be good, and we can always refine the. So maybe there's a. I'm not sure what the assertion is in. I'm just for not null. Let me check.
Oh, they have an is.
It would be a function, so you pass.
Oh.
It's something like the way you pass equal to, so you need a comma.
Oh, I see.
Let me see.
Wait. Equal to
Anything.
Do we have any ham just guesses from the field?
let's see.
I
What is
know this stuff, but I can't remember.
Oh, equal to. Oh, I see. Comma. Oh, okay, got it. Do I want to say equal to or is not?
We're hunting in the world for something is not null-ish in
Maybe
ham jest.
truthy.
So maybe u.com can answer the thing.
Maybe.
Assert
Have we
not
lost the
null?
wider team? Assert not null? All right, very good.
Oh, you could
Is
say
that right?
defined matches everything except undefined. That would probably work. So you could say assert that commit defined.
And two parens
even-
and then
yeah, that's
closing
it.
paren.
Yeah. And then we just need to import that function. So if you click on it and press command dot, you should add it to the ham jest imports. Here we go.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, now on the previous line, there is a thing that was called members, which should be called commit.
Correct.
Sorry about that. Hang on.
All right. So it looks
Now
like
we have an
might a test we
invocation.
can run.
And now we should see it fail. Because we know from having read further on the page that it will throw a good error.
I can type the command to run that. So can you all see that running in
We
your
didn't
terminals?
start with a test, did we?
We didn't actually start.
But it was saying all passes. So
Great, yeah. So we've got the function not implemented error thrown from line 12 in
Perfect.
there. So that looks like our test is working. Superb.
That's brilliant.
I wonder if we want to change the username we use here in the test to Matt Win, because I have actually made a commit in this org.
Oh, great.
Um,
Is it just like that?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we could also maybe console log the commit, I guess, on line
It's fair.
after line 18,
Oh,
so we
yeah.
can have a look at what we get
Sure.
back from GitHub. Because we're going to want to turn that into an assertion that's a bit tighter, probably.
Like that?
Okay.
Looks super.
end user maybe?
Yeah.
Although it doesn't really matter because you've got Matt Win, so it's only going to return
Yeah.
something if
Okay,
it is Matt
fair
Win.
enough.
So should we rotate at this point? Because we're now going to
think-
switch to the.
Yeah, I think we're at a good inflection point. Thank you,
to ping pong.
Blaise.
Thank you, Ollie. That was
So I'm going to press rotate, and we'll see what the computer tells us.
Should we
do
commit?
Good question.
Yeah, I
It
think it's
depends if we
probably
want to have a
good.
failing test in the code base, doesn't it? We could
Uh,
certainly make a commit and then we could always amend it later. We don't have to push the commit.
That's true. Would you? I don't have read.
Yeah, I
Do
can do the
that?
commit. So in here, I can say co-authoring Blaise, Kate, and Olle. What happened to Kate? Let's do that again.
Add failing test for getLastCommitBy user.
Wow.
I'm getting ready to do a live stream in Spanish,
Whoa.
by the way, and I'm actually thinking of doing a little bit of a cucumber in it.
Are you going to write your gherkin in Spanish?
I was thinking I would actually. I thought that
Great.
might be kind of fun.
Yeah, that sounds really fun. Okay, so it says now that navigator is Blaise and Matt is the driver.
Woohoo!
Just want to close that window there. How do I do that?
You can just make it a little bit
Okay.
bigger.
So I'm in here. What do I need to do to get the last commit by? What did we do here? So we do await this.octokit.rest.something. So we're going to do something.
Rest.
What do you think it was?
Oh,
request
okay.
this pattern.
There was an
User
example
repo
there. Oh, there we go.
commits.
Yeah.
So is it rest.users dot
Team.
get by username
Oh.
list?
Oh, I see. Because OctoKit is the
Get by
REST
user.
API.
Yeah, it gives you a wrapper around it. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Okay. So then we
but I
just
don't
need
know.
to do repo.
Are we going in the right way through users?
I think we have to go
Oh,
through
repos.
Yes, I don't
repos.
think.
Yeah.
Or team. Committers team.
So that's the funny thing is I didn't see an entry point 14.
If you go to line 27, you've got a team there.
List commits.
Teams dot.
Oh, list commits.
So
Oh,
what does that
look
take?
at that. That's so much easier.
Oh no.
Then you can probably delete
Oh.
all of those to-dos.
Author.
Well, yeah. I think what we'll get back is a list of commits, and then we might need to do a resort them by user.
So owner would be the org, right?
Oh, okay.
Repo would be. Oh, we don't care about the repo though, do we?
We don't care about the repo.
Huh.
No, that's what was. I think that's what was throwing us off is that we don't really care about the repo, but it seemed like it was forcing us to go and recursively search through every repo.
So maybe we'll have to do.
But I might have misread that, by the way.
Yeah.
I could be mistaken.
Maybe we'll have to first query for all the repos and then loop over the repos and ask it for the commits.
Well, will
In
the
that
activity
repo.
tree help us? The user's activity stream?
I don't know.
Could that be a smaller pool of data to look for?
Does it contain messages about their commits? So is it on users?
I'll poke around and see.
Because the other option you have with GitHub's API is they have a GraphQL API, which is different to the REST one.
Oh,
And that allows you to compose a query which might help. I don't know.
yeah.
And
Well,
what
yeah.
about git log?
Yeah, well, I think effectively, right, git log is going to be what they're going to run when you make a query to repos. If you have a particular repo, get commits or list commits.
So so one of the things
that is basically going to be calling git log under the hood. But they want you to tell it a specific repo, I think.
Yeah, because the logs are organized by repo. And
You
git log.
can have a date order.
Yes,
Yeah, so that's what we'll need to get the latest one. But I think there's this question about what we do about multiple repositories is still sort of the hot topic for me right now. GitHub.
Well, years ago when I had to crawl a private GitHub Enterprise, and maybe things have changed, and I didn't have GraphQL. What I did was I crawled the list of repos, and then I looped through, and then for each repo, I essentially reiterated the search.
Yeah, this says commits in a repository. It seems unlikely that they're going to let us look at commits on a whole org.
And what I found, incidentally, I found that for organizations, GitLab is vastly superior to GitHub.
Oh, don't tell me that. We
are
not moving to GitLab.
No, I know. And
I love GitLab.
Interesting.
And the other thing is, if somebody has made like 1,000 commits, but some of them you just want the last one.
Yeah. You can ask for them. You can get them in a particular order. They tend to be most recent first. Last in, first out. Ooh, GraphQL.
So can I search this? I search this for commit. Did you get anywhere with the activity feed, Olle? No.
Not yet.
So I think we could either just say we're going to have to loop over the repositories, and we could just hard code one for now and just pick one. Okay. Or we could look into GraphQL for a bit and see if that's going to help us. Should we try?
Do you know the GitHub library?
Not very well.
Yeah. Oh, that might do it, but that's Python though. That's the thing.
Why do you think that would help?
Because there's something that says get member last commit date using the GitHub library.
Wow.
So
can you?
Well, it's Python though.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
But if that's available for similar?
If that's available.
So Python libraries will typically do like a little extra work for the developer. And so as a result, they don't end up being as verbose and as messy as.
So do you think that might be like they're wrapping multiple REST API calls?
Yeah, totally. Python's
super.
Yeah.
So here's what you get under members on the REST API. List failed organization invitations. List pending organization invitations. Create an organization invitation. Cancel an invitation. List invitation teams. List organization members. Check organization membership. Remove a member. Get membership for a user. Get organization membership for a user. Remove organization membership. List public members. Check a public membership. Set public membership. Remove membership. So this is very much about like, are you in a team or not? But it's not really information.
They talk about authors and
I mean, it would be
Commit.author.date.
amazing if there was something here that was like last. There's this events URI. Is that what you're looking at now, Olle? The events URL?
I'm trying to get at it from the angle of someone's latest profile activity.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
But they may have done some activity that's not necessarily a contribution.
Yes,
I
you
think
probably
activity
have
includes
to
things like
scan through it.
start.
Yeah, but there will probably be a type of activity.
Ooh, commits.
But the repos underscore URL will give you the repos. So then you can.
Oh, this is again.
How about what we do is we assume that we're going to have to loop over the repos. Let's do a sort of a naive implementation, and then we can always improve on it. So we would go list commits, owner is this.org.
.author.
Repo. I'm going to use there is a .github repo. In fact, why don't we put it in a string, and then that's going to be a bit more helpful. So there's this in our test. I'll show you on the screen share. In our test org, there is a .github repo which has one commit by me in it.
Oh, brilliant!
So we should be able to pull that up from the 1st of April.
Yeah.
We should add a to-do here. Why can't I use... I can't remember how to write comments in JavaScript. Okay, so I'm going to list commits for the repo. Is there anything else I can do to say I want to start like a sort, right? So I can sort them by have the latest one first, as Kate was saying.
Yeah, I suppose so. I think the sort order is the default sort order is
path author. Okay, so we want author. That's the main thing we want. I can rename this variable to author, can't I?
And we want the date also, right?
Well, that should come back.
Oh no, I see.
That in the query though.
Yes, I see.
Since. Right. Ooh.
Oh.
So we could do a
105 days. Yeah.
Simpler thing.
Yeah.
Where we don't return a commit at all, but we just say. If we change this method to be like hasCommitedSince, and then it took an author and a date, then we could specify that in there, couldn't we? And then we would just get one back. There must be a sort order, surely.
What is that date when I look at there where your response, example response, there's committer, and then there's a date.
Yeah.
They might not necessarily
down there. Up.
This bit.
Down.
Or this bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that what we're looking for?
It could be. Should we try running this and see what we get back?
Yes, we should look at the results.
Console log the result. No, I should have awaited that. Otherwise, we'll just be looking at promise. What is wrong?
Perhaps you can just return it as the return of this function. The test is.
Oh, right. Instead of console log.
Well, we've typed it that we're going to have this special type of commit that's got a date and a user, so we really need to sort of turn it into that. But I'm wondering if we've overcomplicated things, because we only need a yes or no answer. We don't need to know when the last commit was. We just need to know whether there was one. Okay. So it's worked. It made a request.
Ooh.
And in the data, we have an array with a char. And we can't see any deeper, unfortunately, into these things. I guess I
You've got
could
an
log
author.
result data. Maybe that'll give us a bit more, will it? I never remember in JavaScript. There's a way you can. Oh, if you do JSON stringify, then it'll go all the way down the object graph. We'll get an enormous thing. Okay, that's better. So we're a level further down now. So each of these things in data looks like this. It's got a commit with an author, but we still can't see the commit object. Shall I JSON stringify it so we can see it properly?
Sure, why not? Yeah. So that then you would JSON stringify the result.data. Okay.
Does it kind of come out neat looking? Kind of feel you have to press it like 2 and null or something.
Whoa. There you go. There's
that's
lots
not
of
very
data.
easy to read.
It's
Let's
not
try.
Begin RPG signature.
It's the other way around. Something like that, and you get it indented.
Oh.
Yeah, I got this T-shirt when I was in Nashville last week from
That's great.
Monell's restaurant, which I was very impressed with. My friend recommended we went there. It's family style dining, which I'd never heard of before.
Yeah.
Blaise knows what I'm talking about.
Yep. Big tables and
You sit with strangers.
just
Sit you down. And then the food is like, you don't order, they just bring food to the table and you pass it around the table.
Right.
Just take a bit, pass it around like you're at
like
you're at your
that.
mum's for Sunday lunch.
Exactly.
Because the communal table, that's pretty normal, or not that normal, but I mean, there's a few places that does that, but I've never heard of the food just arriving and then you must just pass
it's
it
really
on.
cool.
I really like that.
Really nice.
So we've got dates. When was your last commit?
Well, this browser says
4 April. No.
Okay, I have
Because
a
you-
finger in the air here. Committed date and sort of merge date, author date and commit date are different.
Yeah.
When it was merged and when it was written are different. And
think-
they
Well,
are
we
in
want the
there.
merge date rather, right?
So it's
Kind
one-
of. It'll be more
No.
recent.
So there's been
It's-
5
it-
commits in this repo. They were all on the 1st of April.
But one of them is later. B0D0 is the latest one.
Is it?
What
Yeah,
is
because
the
initial
current
commit is the
bod-
first one, and this should try to run the action is the last one.
But there are no merges. These are all individual commits.
So what does
What
it...
does the current bot do when you become a committer? Does it check when you have committed or when you have merged? I think it's only when the pull request is merged in.
Yeah.
So we should do something similar, or we should use that.
Yeah.
Good enough that we are
So
checking.
this is the latest one. So I just
Oh.
wanted to check in the ordering. It is giving us back the latest one first. So we only need the first item in the array.
Yes.
Yeah, so the question is whether we should look at the author date or the committer date. They're identical in this one, aren't they?
Yeah, I think we want the author, the name, because committer could be like a merge bot or something. It could be some.
But you're saying you think that committer is when it was actually merged in Olle?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. So if you wrote something and I, what do you call it, hit the merge green button, and your PR was merged, then I would be the committer and you would be the author.
And if I took 6 months to merge your commit, then 6 months later we would retire you if we were looking at this date, because it looked like you'd made your commit a year ago, and you had made your commit a year ago, but we'd only got around to merging it in the last 6 months. So, okay.
So I am then an active committer in our language.
So we would say const date equals date dot parse result dot data dot not dot commit dot committer
dot
date. There's a train wreck if ever I saw one.
Well, we can thank.
So this is worried about the fact that 0 might not have anything in it, which is a point, isn't it? So if there are no commits by this user, what do we say?
No commits.
Yeah.
And then he will not be active, so he will not be a committer. So that shouldn't be possible.
I really think we should change this API to be like
since.
Has committed since author date. I think we should change the API, but I'm kind of scared about like doing too much at once. But it would make this a lot simpler to implement, because we'd just be returning a true or false rather than a whole commit object, which we're not going to do anything with. So I kind of want to like backtrack a little bit and do that. Like make that, maybe we should make that an intermediate goal. What does everyone else, what does the mob think?
I trust you.
I support the simpler thing, which was the Boolean return.
Yeah.
I think so too.
And we're also supported by the API.
Yeah.
Having that, putting the
Yeah,
into it.
Yeah.
So we're going to change getLastCommitBy has committed since date author.
Right.
And then we're going to move those around, so we do this one first. Okay. So shall I just git reset hard?
Well.
Or do we want to keep this? Are we fond of it?
Well, git reset hard will just roll back the previous commit, right?
I guess if we imagined it was done, right, and this was a Boolean, then
I mean, I think
we would be saying here since.
Yeah. Since, exactly.
What's wrong with that?
It's whatever.
Oh,
today
it's a
minus
string. Yeah, so it has to be formatted like that. Okay, how do I do that?
Well, it wants it to be. Can't you just do today minus 365 or something like that?
I think we should let the caller tell us that. You know.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of nice to use the.
Oh, look at that! It actually has 2 ISO string. How nice is that? For once, JavaScript helps us. And then we can just return result.data. Why'd you say any or length is greater than 0? Right? Because if there's any commit since that date, then we're good. Right?
Yeah, unless it comes back with a message or something that's non-zero length.
I think if it does, it will throw the call.
Yeah.
Like if there's an error, what kind of circumstance, kind of scenario are you thinking of, Blaise?
Well, in other words, let's say that there are none, that there are no results, I just wonder if the length of the response might still be longer than 0. The result.data.
Oh yeah, maybe it's data.
I just don't know how that's possible, because if we are going to look at the committers and we want to get rid of the inactive committers, it implies that they must have done one commit.
Yeah, I think we might. I worry that we might get something back in the data that will be helpful, but it will.
Well, it looks to me like data is an array of the commits. But we can test this, right? We can test it out.
Okay.
Yes. Let's do that.
So we need to change this now to be has committed since Matt Win, and then if we put the date of like today.
Yeah. Oh.
Should return false.
New date. Today. Assert that. So has committed
since.
This is how we tell falsy, yeah. Because this is that's kind of an idiom in JavaScript that things like some things appear if you ask them if you ask JavaScript if it's false, it will say yes, even though it's not actually a Boolean. I can't remember. There's some really weird things. Like I think an empty string is false, or null is false, undefined is false. Yeah. Sorry, that is kind of confusing. One more bracket there.
Cool. It's false.
All right, so it gets the last. So it doesn't do this anymore. What does it do? It
returns weather, perhaps.
Yeah.
Returns weather. A given date. Perfect.
We can clear that up. Okay, let's run this test. I think it's not going to build because we haven't changed the interface. I think when it tries to compile, it's going to fail. Oh no, it lets us build it. Gosh, I am surprised about that. All right, what happened here? Yeah.
What?
So it wants us to implement getLastCommitBy because that's what we said the interface needed to have.
See. Okay.
So we've got to go down a little bit of a rabbit hole here and go into GitHub and change this to
committed since, last committed since.
Has committed. Oh, it doesn't suggest. Okay.
And then there's going to be some more problems because this one here now
Get last
is
commit online.
this is our actual implementation.
Is the promise?
So this is where we were working out. Oh gosh!
God,
so this is
math.
like, see, this has got a big side effect, right? Because we're changing how our. I mean, it's good because it's going to simplify this code. Because actually, all we need to do, rather than working out date since last commit, is just work out what was the date a year ago.
Yes.
But we are there's a lot to do here. There's a lot to do. That's
well,
you know what we could do? We could add both methods for now.
Yes.
And then deprecate one of them. What do you think about that?
I think we should call the argument author in hasCommittedSince.
Yeah.
I think that was the name you used in the other one.
Yeah. But shall I add another one? I'll add this one back to the interface for now.
Oh, I see. Sure. Okay. That way it doesn't.
Actually, this is
Should
promising a
by not be a
boolean.
capital letter?
Thank you, Kate. And then we're going to sort of deprecate that and move over to this one. So what happens if I do npm run build now?
That's a cool little trick. I hadn't thought of that.
I can't believe it's letting me compile. There must be something wrong with the TypeScript configuration, because there's definitely like problems with the implementation of this interface on this thing, because we now, yeah, there we go, you see it spotted it here, because we haven't implemented getLastCommitBy on this one. But we could just do an empty implementation here.
We've got an error.
There we go. And I guess we could write here to do deprecated, remove this method, and change usages to use hasCommittedSince. Or maybe that should go on the interface here.
Oh, nice.
Right, let's try running the test again. We should have switched drivers when we went down this rabbit hole. Okay, it's compiling.
Do we want to switch drivers now?
And look, our test passed.
Oh, brilliant! It did?
It passed. Was great.
Oh, yeah. It passed with it.
It's always a bit annoying when you're doing TDD, but it's because the data is valid, right? Oh no, wait a second. Yeah, because we expected it to be falsy.
Falsy.
Right.
Yeah.
And if we changed it to be an older date, then we could have a second test, I guess.
Put in my username.
Yeah, we could put in your username.
Ooh. True. Olle would be my username. Lowercase, thank you. And
is that like that's like a chant that you would do at a?
It's like a football.
Olle,
yeah,
Olle.
Exactly.
Ole,
Ole.
Yeah.
That makes me think of rugby.
Oh no, because you would be falsy as well, wouldn't you? We need to find someone that's committed in the last no minutes.
Yeah, it's more difficult, isn't it?
Or we make another
Just
test.
change the date.
Yeah. But we have to remember how to persuade JavaScript to get us an older date. So I'm going to need to run, folks, because I need to get down to the barbers as well. I feel like we should make a commit.
Yeah, let's make a commit. I think because there was a lot of good stuff.
We've left some devastation here because.
That's how you climb a mountain.
The feature files are still using the old method.
Oh, I see.
So we're going to have to finish off this to-do pretty urgently to get things to compile.
So we should just make a note of everything.
Yeah. I mean, we've got a to-do there. We've got a to-do.
And the errors point us in the right direction in terms of fixing the feature files.
Yeah, I think they do. Do we want to add another test? What about if we do if we just remind ourselves by doing this, we can say context working out if a user has committed recently.
Oh, right. Okay.
Then we can move this it block inside there. It returns true, false.
If they have, I see, false if they have not. Okay.
And then we should have another one, and you can just leave a placeholder. This is a nice thing about it. Returns true if they have. And that'll, like when we run the test, I'll show you.
Oh.
I'll just leave a... We could put a to-do on this as well. Yeah, so you get like a pending one.
Oh, sweet. So basically, it's returning the names of the its. Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. That's what. And Dave Tulimsky, who built the RSpec project, which is the original one of these, said to me like, the whole reason you write all of these its and describes is ultimately to get this output, because you should be able to read it out loud and go, okay, I understand what the responsibilities of OctoKit GitHub are. It gets members of the team. When it's working out if a user is committed recently, it returns false if they've not. It returns true if they have. Like, you should be able to read this out to yourself, and it should make sense. Even like from a product point of view, you might. Although obviously we're down in the solution now. We're talking about a particular object in the system.
This is great. Yeah, product managers would love this.
Clean language or clean code. They call it clean code as well.
Yeah, well, it summarizes the level. It binds across levels of abstraction. So, you can get a nice summary that's real. It's not based on hearsay.
Yeah. As long as you don't just like, I mean, I can make the test
in
pass.
Spanish.
Yeah. Okay, right. I'm gonna do a commit then.
Do a commit.
So if I press up or something, up again, there we go. And then, so what are we doing here? We are
breaking everything.
Well, we refactored the
replace getLastCommitBy with a Boolean hasCommittedSince.
Wow, that's great. Oh.
Why don't your son join us for a mob?
Oh, I'm sure we're not cool enough.
Oh, well, he's got his friend over right now, so they were excited to run down to downtown. But that's a really nice idea, and maybe next week I'll see if he wants to get involved. Yeah, that's a nice idea. He's into learning about coding. He's sort of.
Then I won't be. Maybe I will still be the dumbest, but maybe not.
You're not the dumbest,
Probably.
Kate. It's not a competition.
So
anyway.
What would you say? I just call it the way it is.
Least experienced. I know, but dumb to me, dumb is like a thing that you're never going to recover from. Like
you can't fix stupid.
You're always going to be dumb.
But haven't you heard of neuroplasticity?
Yeah, I know, and that's what I mean by saying somebody's dumb. Yeah. Is that sort of like a fixed mindset label.
I'll never change. Okay, I will.
But I hear you that you can be both dumb and open to change. So own it. Own the dumbness. Shall I push these changes from my machine then? I can leave I should probably stop the stream so it doesn't just plow on. But I can leave the VS Code session open if you want to do another lap. But I've got to go.
Yeah. Maybe we'll just wrap it. Thank you everyone for showing up. Bye-bye Twitch streamers.
Bye stream.
Thanks everyone.